Have you ever felt like you're constantly running, thinking, worrying, just doing and going and stressing, but you're not actually moving forward? Does it feel like no matter what you accomplish, something still feels missing? This isn't failure. This is noise. And today, we're going to get quiet enough to hear what your heart has been trying to tell you. I believe that protecting and growing your mindset is a constant and ongoing practice. I use this channel to help share perspectives and insights from the questions that I get from you and that I have myself, where I find inspiration from others who want to share their journey and hope. So first question, how do I know what I really want and not what I've been told I should want? This is a really great one. I've been reading the book Think Like a Monk this month, and I really appreciate how Jay Shetty gets into really where your mindset is around what it is you feel you need to accomplish and chase validation versus aligning with your, what he calls dharma, or what I call your purpose, your dreams. It's very hard because since we're raised from a very young age, we're fed a lot of things. Some families will literally tell you as a child, oh, you need to be successful, so you have to go to this type of college, you have to have this type of degree and this type of job. Some of us have been told that. We grew up feeling there really wasn't an option to go into anything except law, medicine, but maybe that's not what you feel deep inside is your purpose and your calling. And so to really move past that, it's going to take a lot of time of self-reflecting and listening deep inside in what do you truly want? How do you feel you can leave this place a little better than when you found it? Or how can you leave a positive ripple effect, a positive legacy, even if you dream that big, and just have a super positive influence on anything that you touch? I think it starts first, truly, with letting go of default goals, things that we feel we're supposed to do because either it's within our gender definition, or it's just within what our family has told us to do, or even the career we did choose, the things they tell you you have to accomplish and milestones that you have to hit before you're ready for next. So really digging in and thinking, what do I want deep within? What do I find joy in doing? Where do I find happiness? And then thinking of how can I turn that into part of my routine? For some of you, that might mean a shift in your career or the business that you own and run. And for others, it may just be something that you do extra in your routine that gives you fulfillment. Maybe you could be a mentor or tutor at a local school because you really believe in, fueling children's education. Or maybe it's something that you do for an elderly neighbor just because you feel it feels good to give back and you miss time that you could have spent with your own parents, so you want to give back. But I think the most important is finding quietness and a stillness so that you can listen to what it is your heart is telling you versus what your mind is pushing against. This is easiest done, I believe, through quiet daily meditation and reflection. I love to use journals to help shape my thoughts and track my thoughts even. I can go back and see things. But you have to start with a reflection every single morning before you start your day to make sure that the choices that you make throughout the day, how you organize your schedule and your routine, truly aligns with what it is you will find fulfillment in. And again, this doesn't mean you give your 2-week notice and go out and start hiking across, the world. Maybe that is what you do, but that doesn't mean that's how extreme it has to go. It can start with a very small footprint in your own community or with somebody that you know at work who needs some support and guidance and encouragement. There's so much you can do to find fulfillment and begin moving towards what you want to accomplish. But you got to quiet down and you got to separate what your mind is fighting with you on and what your heart says you truly want. Second question, how much of what I believe about myself is actually mine, and how much have I absorbed from others? Ooh. I really like what Jay Shetty hits on in Think Like a Monk, where the best way I can describe it is identity versus conditioning. Who are we versus who have we been even telling ourselves we are? I just had a really powerful conversation with a friend of mine, and we both agreed that there's times where we feed to ourselves and say, oh, I'm not good at this, or I'm just not wired to do that, or I'm not good at this like somebody else is. It's not for me. And that's kind of a story that we tell ourselves. We're giving ourselves our own narrative that builds up walls and limits ourselves. I think about a baby learning to walk and how many times that little one will pull him or herself up on a piece of furniture and take a few steps forward and then fall. And sometimes when they fall, they laugh about it. This raw, pure, joyful laugh in the fact that they took a step or two and then they fell. And then they're going to pull themselves back up again and take another step. So that internal narrative that you give yourself of something you can't do, chances are that's a lot more rooted in a fear of failure or just really not sure where to start. How do you get over that? And how do you break down those walls and move yourself forward? In my opinion, the very first thing you need to start with is just a personal, deep self-reflection. Is this something you truly want to become better at? I gave the example of I do struggle a little bit with the use of modern technology, but I am capable of learning anything I need to enhance my life via electronics on my computer or on my phone. And there are things that I could watch or read that will help me do it. And if I just push through and figure out the app or the process or what to do, I could learn it. But I also need to pick what I invest my time in on myself. So I need to decide, is this something that I want to learn for my growth and to be better at something? Or is this something that I want to learn enough on so that I can align with the right expert that I can then pass and delegate these tasks to or ask for help in? You need a little reflection on what it is that you feel you can't do and realize, first of all, you are capable of learning new and hard things. It doesn't matter your age. You can do it at 2 years old, you can do it at 20, and you could do it at 60, 70, 80 years old. You can learn new things. Do you want to? And then keep in mind, the journey is not going to be easy, but once you begin to get it and you keep working at it, it will come together. So start with your mindset. What do you want to learn? How will it serve you? And to what extent do you want to learn it? Third question. What's going to happen when I give myself permission to begin, even if I don't feel ready? I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Throughout your entire life's journey of the different things you are going after, whether it's motherhood or fatherhood, whether it's career growth, whether it's starting your own business or getting after an intense fitness program for your health and wellness, there will be a point in that journey where you have a new hurdle that you will not feel ready to tackle. You are going to feel scared. You are going to begin to tell yourself, don't do that yet. Make sure that you have read this or talked to this person or watched this tutorial. you're going to build up all these hurdles for why you shouldn't take another step forward and try it. And, Jay talks about in his book, Think Like a Monk, he digs into that kind of mess of readiness and just not really feeling like you can accomplish something because of the stories you're telling yourself, maybe even the conditioning you had. So how do you take that step forward? Well, first of all, you have to realize that the idea of imposter syndrome is felt by everyone, even the most successful CEOs and executives. There are moments in their career shifts where they 100% will feel like that. So these people that you're looking at and maybe admiring for things that they've accomplished, the path that they've taken and what they're doing with their life now, talk to them. Reach out to an executive in your own company, or if you know a neighbor who runs something that you're inspired by, what all they juggled, and ask them how they've handled imposter syndrome or not feeling ready for things. It happens daily. There will never be a point where you can check off that you are successful and perfectly ready for what it is you want to get after next. Part of the beauty is the journey that you take and who you become as you move towards that purposeful life that you want for yourself. But how do you get after that? You have to honor yourself and the fears that you have and the concerns that you have, but that you are strong enough to get through it. You are capable of learning new things. Use journaling. Write down how you're feeling, but also a commitment of what you're going to get after to become better prepared for that. Morning reflections can be so powerful to what your mind allows you to tackle in your day. When you start your morning with a quietness and a stillness, whether you call it meditation or prayer or just sacred time, when you start there and then you align your every decision with your greater purpose, maybe you call it your priority goal, maybe you call it your dream life. When you align choices that you make throughout the day with what that end goal is, you will find your mind has the ability and the stamina to take those small steps forward. Each day you've got to choose courage over confidence, and you can make it. Your shift isn't going to happen all at once. It begins, though, when you honor the questions that you're having, those emotions you're feeling, and the choices you make and what you do each day. Visit thesaigeshift.com. I have tools, journals, and books to help you along this journey, to help you unlock the power of your mindset and your routine so that you can align your daily actions towards the life you want.